In the small, sunny city of Weslaco, Texas, where nothing truly important really happens, besides high school football games and the occasional lazy pug film.
Great movie, by the way.
But if you turn the right corner and make a left on the right street, buried deep in his secret lair, you will find the man, the legend.
Alright, let's get fish and chips.
Fish and chips?
Fish and chips.
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 Fish and chips!
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips?
Fish and chips? Is it fish with chips?
No, like,
Or chips with fish? What's the deal?
fish and chips.
Oh, for sure.
Y'all know me, still the same OG, but I've been low-key, hated on by most these niggas with no cheese, no deals and no G's, no wheels and no keys, no boats, no snowmobiles and no skis. Mad at me cause I can finally afford to provide my family with groceries. Got a crib with a studio and a saw full of tracks, to add to the wall full of plaques, hanging up in the office and back of my house like trophies. Did y'all think I'ma let my dough freeze? Hold please, you better bow down on both knees.
Hey, sir.
What's up, man?
Mind if we ask you a few questions?
About what?
There's this senior here called Fish and Chips. Wanted to know if you know.
Keep that down, man. Don't be talking that right here.
Wow, what's up? What's the deal with that?
Fish and chips bad, dude.
Wow, what have you heard about Fish and Chips?
Don't say that name out loud, man. Don't say it.
Why?
He's gonna come, he gonna pummel my ass, and he gonna pummel your ass, and we both gonna get pummeled. It don't work that way. I don't want no part of this.
Alright. Hey, sir.
Yeah.
We're doing a documentary on the senior Fish and Chips. You know anything about him? So we're doing a documentary.
Oh, alright. Who?
On Fish and Chips. You know Fish and...
Who?
Fish and Chips.
Yeah.
And, sir. Can you, what do you know about him?
Alright, all I know is what I've heard.
Well, what have you heard?
Alright, I heard he's about 30, 45 years old, 7 feet tall, and he talks like a black guy. That's all I know. That's all I've heard.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Listen, I don't know where all these rumors are coming from, but they true, motherfuckers.
So, Fish and Chips' mom. Well, how is it that with all due respect to black people, how is it that your son came to have a black accent?
Accent?
Yeah.
What accent? He's black.
And just like that, an important piece of the puzzle was revealed. The man, the legend, wasn't just of Mexican descent, but he was also part African American. How did this come to be, I wondered? What? But there's no record of Fish and Chips having a black father.
Listen, truth is, I was 17 and very drunk. I was out dancing with some guy at this club that I used to go to a lot. It was very dark and I couldn't see him that well, but I didn't care. I was just having a good time. After a couple drinks, I led him to the girls' bathroom, ran inside, and waited for him to come in. Once I heard the knock on the door, I said, "Come on in, big boy." I honestly thought he was just a very dark Mexican, but turns out he was black.
Wow. So what happened next?
What do you think happened next? He was born.
So what was it like growing up without a role model?
Just because I don't have a dad doesn't mean I don't have a role model.
Fair enough. So who was this role model of yours?
Only the baddest motherfucker on the planet, dog.
Okay, now you let him go!
Yolanda, I thought you were gonna be cool. Now when you yell at me, it makes me nervous. And when I get nervous, I get scared. And when motherfuckers get scared, that's when motherfuckers accidentally get shot.
So apparently the man who influenced Fish and Chips as a child was the great Samuel L. Jackson. That was the origin of where Fish and Chips learned his signature catchphrase, "Mother." But his childhood didn't solely revolve around this. There was more to the story.
So it all started back in the 4th grade, right? I was walking down the hall, doing my own thing, when this nerdy kid came up to me, gave me a note. Said it was from these thug-looking right in the corner. I don't remember exactly what the note said, but it said something about joining the Bloods. So I thought to myself, it might not be that bad. It might even get me laid. So I did what I thought was best. So that was life for the next couple of years. I went through many changes. I got older, bigger, but it wasn't until one day in class when I truly opened my eyes and realized I've been in the 4th grade for 6 years. I couldn't take being a failure. So that same day after school, I went to confront my crew and tell them I was out.
So I went to the usual hangout spot in the alley right behind Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. You got a problem with that?
No, I just didn't realize Chick-fil-A was open in those
Listen, listen, do me a favor, right? Shut up and let me tell my story.
It's totally established in 1932.
Alright. So I went up to my crew. I told them I couldn't do this anymore, man. I had too many problems going on. I was doing bad in school. My mom kicked me out. I was on the verge of going to jail. I didn't matter, Dre. He said, you know, it's on my way out, right? I knew what that meant. But I was hoping. I was just hoping I was wrong. I couldn't believe it. He gave me that look in his eye and said, so what's it gonna be? I didn't answer back. So he gave him the familiar signal. That's when Rico and Fuentes got a hold of me. They hit me against the wall. I was just struggling to get out, but there was no use. That's when he looked back at Grandmaster Joe. And with the lethal stroke of the mustache, he gave Dre the orders.
So what did you end up doing?
I asked him in a more nicer manner. And I changed their minds. So that whole gangster thing blew over. I started to go to school again, hitting the books, getting good grades. Everything was going good. Up until the 7th grade.
My mom told me to go to the store and buy some groceries.
Wait, let me get one thing straight there. You're in 7th grade, and how old are you?
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter right now, right, man? I know, why do you keep interrupting me, man? Every time I tell a story, you keep interrupting me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You stupid motherfucker. Anyways, on my way out, right, I spot this guy at the corner of my eye. At first, I didn't think anything of it. It's just a guy. Until he put a knife on me, and with his crazy looking eyes, he said, give me the groceries now. Motherfucker! You wanted my food? My food? Mine? I wasn't gonna let that happen. He didn't like the idea of that, so that's when he went in for the kill. This motherfucker got my juice. My juice! I was so mad I wanted to beat his ass. I was waiting over. I knocked the knife out of his hands. I knocked him to the ground. I was down like a motherfucker. But my killer instincts didn't want to leave it alone. I had to do something else. So I kicked him a few more times. And that's when I went back to the grocery bag. Yeah, I was looking for something.
Well, what were you looking for?
Listen, man. If you read the papers, you knew exactly what I was looking for. And right then, he knew he messed with the wrong motherfucker. The next day, the cops found his body, along with the 2 pieces of evidence I left behind. The cops called it the Fish and Chips murder. And from there on forth, I was known as Fish and Chips.
So you're a senior now in high school, right?
That's right, I'm a senior. Gonna graduate. First in my family.
That's great. I'm curious, what is it like when, you know, the other students see you in the halls?
No one knows who I am. All they know is these stories.
So, do you know anything about Fish and Chips? You know who he is? You have any clue?
No, man. But who is this guy? Like, I've heard so much about him. Like, I've heard so many stories, rumors about him. I mean, it could be anybody. Like, it could be that guy, that girl over there, or the stalker, or maybe even this guy right here.
Something on
But yeah, man, I don't know too much about him. I've heard about him, but that's all I really know.
The thing is, I would let everyone know who I is. I would. But I don't think it's a good idea for my safety. A lot of gang-related people want me dead. If they were to find out who I am, you know. So, I mean, I think it's a better idea if...
Hey, what y'all doing out here?
No, turn on the lights, come on!
What's the deal?